Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing an art journal page in my square watercolor journal. Well, it's not 100% square, but almost, and it's from Kunst Papier, I believe German manufacturer. It has a lot of pages in there and the watercolor paper is not very thick, but I really like it for art journaling and experimenting, especially when I work with mixed media such as watercolors, collage or acrylics. I am clipping the pages together though, so the paper does not buckle, and I'm starting the background with a loose watercolor layer, and I will cover up some of it, but I would like to have some of it showing on the page. I let that dry completely, and I now come in with some stamping to create some more interest and texture, and I'm going to use the same color that I have already on the background. I'm picking a yellow color. I believe it's the only one I have. And I'm using a stamp from our brand new Mix It Up number 3. And I just stamped this sleeve to the edges of the page. I just rearranged the stamp on my acrylic block to make sure that it does not go over the spine with the block, so I get a better impression. I'm really happy with the background, and I will now add in a little bit of texture with the Mix Sentiment stamp set, just a bit here and there to create interest and also contrast on the page. I have already prepared some collage papers to adhere to the page, and I have, this is a jelly print I made on rice paper, and then I added some stamping. I also have some leftover paint papers. That means that whenever I do something with acrylics, I use a paper as a paint palette, and whenever there is something left over or I clean the brush, I just throw it onto that paper, and these make awesome collage papers. I'm just arranging them intuitively on my page, and then I will adhere them with the glue stick. It takes a while to figure out where I want to have all that stuff. I'm placing it more to the left, not directly in the middle. I plan to arrange all the collage papers more on the left side of the spread. I bring in my collage paper box where I have tons of bits and pieces in to just find something I want to adhere to the spread. I really like this paper here because of the white dots it has that already brings some texture in, and also the different blue shades are perfect as a contrast against the yellow background. I found this neon paper, or this paper with the neon texture, in my little box. I just shared this over on my Instagram reels. I really like the yellow mixed with this neon pink and that turquoisey blue, and I think it fits the page perfectly and brings in more color that makes it more interesting. I think that pop of pink really brightens up the whole spread. I cut out 3 circles and I'm just arranging them. I wanted to bring in more white to increase the contrast in the spread, and here I'm using a white gouache stick, and this is a really nice tool, especially the white one for art journaling, because it dries completely, so it does not smear just as the gelatos, and it gives you a good coverage, and it's a quicker way to add white compared to using gesso. What I don't like is that you can't buy this stick separately. I haven't found any places where I get those. Yeah, But I really like how it looks. If you don't have this gouache stick, you can just use some white paint or gesso. I will now add some neon pink splatters just to pick up the neon I already have on the page. When I make splatters, I usually make a cluster where I have more splatters and then spread them out a little bit. I will let this dry, and in the meantime I'm preparing a main image and also a sentiment to add to the page. I think something colorful doesn't work on this background, so I'm using just a simple black and white image, and there is a nice flower in this Mix It Up #3 stamp set, which is almost only black, and I decided to stamp it and then cut it out and adhere it to the art journal page. Just some quick tips on getting good stamp impressions. I have a piece of foam here that I lay under my paper, and I try to use a paper that is not that textured because stamping on textured paper is always difficult. This one has kind of a texture, but it will work. It's the Canson XL watercolor paper, and as it's a porous surface, I will use VersaFine Clear ink to stamp. It's my favorite ink. It makes the best stamp impressions. What also is important to have always your stamp pad pretty re-inked. So if you tap on your stamp and then you can see that your stamp pad picks up some of the ink again, then you know that it's definitely empty and you have to re-ink it. That's the most important thing. Always re-ink your stamp pads. Re-ink them early and you will get a perfect impression. The white spots on the flower are truly white. They should not be black. So this is normal, but all the black areas are super smooth and have a good coverage of the paper, I would say. Here I stamped a sentiment to just an edge of an old book page that I have painted with the same colors I have on the other collage paper I've just used. I will cut this into pieces and then later adhere it to the whole spread. I just cut off the overlapping of the page and I have cut out the flower. My splatters are almost dry and I will adhere the flower to the page. I will adhere it more on the right side of the center. If I would adhere it to the center, it would not look good. So for the composition, it balances it out on the flower against the collage piece or collage area. And I will adhere the sentiment over the collage area. Here I have adhered everything and my page is finished. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you like the spread. Maybe you want to watch some other videos, and I wish you a nice weekend. Bye!